Sup nerds, I'm Tom.
I'm Wes.
And today we're going to talk about Furnace and the expansion a little bit. Mostly talking about that, but we'll talk about this. But, I mean, we're probably going to talk about that the more, but this too.
So Furnace is a bidding engine building game where you have your cards out here that you are going to bid on and then build your tableau and potentially upgrade those cards to get better things, to get better cards, to essentially get victory points. So the bidding mechanic is one of the really interesting things of this game, where you have your tiles numbered 1 through 4, and that is what you are bidding with. And if I put my 4 out there, nothing can beat it. I'm guaranteed to get that card. But like obviously 3s beat 2s, 2s beats 1s. But even if you lose, there's still a benefit to being the loser, but being on that card.
It's called
compensation. And so there is a strategy of, I'm going to put my 2 out there, hoping he bids higher on that card so that I will get the compensation.
Mm-hmm. Or like, I want to win this card, but do I really want to put my 4 on it? Because then you can put your 3 on it and you can get 6 coal or whatever.
Yeah, because you get the compensation the number of times of the tile you bid with.
Yeah.
So if it's the compensation is to get a steal, and I put my 3 on it and I lose, I get 3 steal.
So it's a really nice, very simple, look, we don't need to even talk more about this game because I'm going to say I highly recommend it and you should buy it because it's great. So fluid and simple and elegant. The cards come out and you're like, I either want the ability at the bottom in my tableau to build my engine or I want the thing at the top. What's the best way for me to get it? And I love that these bidding tokens aren't representative of money that you need to have or something. It's just
you're not limited of, I don't have enough stuff, so I can't bid this round. Everyone has an equal chance to bid on everything. It's just, what do you want? Where do you want to put those out? It is a very, I don't want to necessarily say simple. It's really easy to learn and get the hang of. We played it with his sister, not my wife, at the sushi restaurant, who plays games even less than his sister, who is my wife.
You all caught up now? She probably has never played a strategy game in this fashion before. And when I said the term tableau, she was like, "What is that?" And yet, at the end, we did the first round. When you're running your engine, you can do that simultaneously. But at first, we were like, "Okay, you do it, then I'll do it." So you'll see how that works. And then from there on, we were able to do it simultaneously because she was just people like, "Okay, I'm going to use this card. I'm going to gain this stuff on it. Then I'm going to do the conversions to gain the points. Money is points in this game. You do have special player powers, which are really strong. Mm-hmm. I do want to mention that. But also, the expansion doesn't add that much. It adds a 5th player. It adds an extra set of cards off to the side with abilities that you can trigger. They're not per se constant abilities, but they're little tokens that you can put on cards that you've bought, your engine cards, right? And say, oh, this one can produce more. This one can produce twice or whatever. But it also adds a bidding disc that this little wheel thing that you spin, which actually is something that you spend. It's representative of coal. This is a 0 until you start spending coal, and you can dial it up to an 8 or to a 10 or to whatever. And I do really like this expansion. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and if your friends are seasoned gamers, especially if they played the base game before, this is not a difficult expansion to add in. But one of my buddies was like, oh, I would never play with the base game again. And I disagree. I definitely don't want to call it essential in such that, if you love the game, of course, you're going to want more of this. But I still have played the game. I've played the base game more times than I've played with the expansion since I've had the expansion. Elegance in the base game is so great that I don't feel like the expansion, it doesn't fix anything. It doesn't take it from, bad in this area to better. It doesn't. I enjoy the expansion. But the base game itself, this system that is devised here, is so just that look, get the expansion, sure, but you definitely got to get this game. This needs to be on your shelf. This should maybe be also.
Would you say more complicated doesn't always mean better?
Correct.
If you love this game, there is an expansion that you can add to it, and for some people, more complicated is better. I would say for us, it's not.
Those people are wrong.
But it is really solid game. Looks really nice.
The playmat does not come with it. Also, you should know, but you should get the playmat because it's beautiful.
Yeah. So if you can't tell, we're huge fans of this game. I want a copy, even though he has a copy. Oh my gosh, you're killing me! It really is a very elegant system that is incredibly enjoyable. The bidding, the engine building, it works really well. You've got like the ways to get points that you can like, get the easier resource, and so it's really easy to get points, but you get a lot more points if you can get the heavier resources, obviously.
I made a Cat in the Hat.
There'll be a purchase link down in the description below where you can get yourself a copy.
And while you're down there, definitely check out our link for Game Toppers. They are the sponsor for Neverboard Gaming. They're phenomenal. It's what we're filming on right here, but also down there is going to be a link for
Subscription. You can subscribe to our OnlyFans.